Yo, what's up? It's Yujin Tang. Welcome to my machine learning series. So here I'm gonna go through how to use k-means. K-means is a clustering algorithm, and basically what it does is you have k-means or centroids, which are just groups, and you're basically just clustering them on a graph. And so for this example, what we're gonna do is we're gonna do k-means in just 2 dimensions, and we're gonna plot it on a graph. And first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to show you a contrived example with 100 samples. So first thing we're going to do is, so in order to do this, you're going to need to install sklearn, pandas, numpy, and matplotlib. Okay. And once you install them, we're just going to get right into it. So let's import matplotlib.pyplot as plt. This is just convention. Doesn't really matter what you import it as. Import pandas as pd. Once again, this is PD. Once again, this is just convention. Import random. This is so that we can have our randomized samples, and then from sklearn.cluster, we're going to import k-means. Yeah, okay. So now this is all our imports. So now what we're going to do is we're going to come up with a sample data set. So first I'm going to show you a contrived example with 100 samples, and then I'm going to load a real world data set. Well, it's actually a sample data set from sklearn, but it's closer to what real world data would look like. I'm going to load a sample data set, and we'll go through that, okay? So first thing we're going to do is we're going to come up with 100 samples. So we're going to just, samples, 100 of them, data is equal to a list, and we're just going to go for I in range 100. 100. Oh yeah, we don't actually need the word this variable. What am I doing? For I in range 100, we're going to. So what we're going to do here is we're going to come up with 2 clusters. My chair is kind of weird. 2 clusters here. One is going to be centered on 0, 0, and one is going to be centered on 5, 5. So let's just say if I is divisible by 2. We're going to say base equals 0. If I is not divisible, else base equals 5. Okay. So this sign right here, this is the mod sign. This just tells you, it gives you a remainder basically. So basically x, we'll just do random.uniform, -1 to 1. This gives it a random, this is a random uniform distribution. So it just samples a random number between -1 and 1. And we'll add that to our base. And then y equals random.uniform, -1 to 1. Oh, wow, I can't type. And we'll just add that to our base as well. And then we'll just append, data.append the list of x, y. And we'll turn that into a data frame so that we can do more processing on it. So I think pd.dataframe, data, I think that's all we need to do here. Okay, so now we've got a data frame with 100 samples in it. So let's take a look at what df looks like. So I'll just go here, df rand. So this is what it looks like. Okay. So this is obviously, this is one of the 0, 0s, this is one of the 5s. All right. So from here, what we're going to do is we're going to call a k-means. So k2 means is going to be k-means, and in clusters equals 2. And then we're gonna have our label rand equals to k2 means dot fit predict. So this is gonna fit and predict the data, and we're gonna fit on this on df rand. So now let's take a look at what label rand looks like. So yep, there we go. It should be 0, 1 all the way across, all the way down. So that's right. Let's do let's separate these out. So f labels 1. It doesn't really matter what you call these variables, so I'm just going to call it f label 1. Rand label, sorry. Whoops, this is going to be label rand equals 1, and then f label 0 equals df rand, label rand equals 0. Okay, cool. So we have that set up, and then from here, let's plot these on the scatter plot. So plt, that's our matplotlib, right? Scatter plot f labels 1. Oh, so let's take a look at what f labels looks like. All right, so that's what f labels looks like. So let's so these are the 0s are the x's and the 1s are the y's. So plt.scatter f labels 1. Oh, we can do 0 first. Doesn't really matter. F labels 0, 1. Label equals 0. plt.scatter f labels 1, 0, f labels 1, 1 label equals 1. And so that's what this looks like, okay? Now what we're going to do is we're going to add to this, and we're going to add a centroid. So what we're going to do is we're going to use the k-means function, so k2means dot cluster centers, that's what it's called. So cluster centers, and we'll just plot those, scatter centroids, right? So we'll do comma 0, centroids, rand, comma 1, color equals, let's make it black. So there we go. This is our centroid. You can see the center of each of these is around 0, 0 and 5, 5, as we expected. So there's our randomized example. Now let's go and let's get our real life example. So what we're going to do here is we're going to have to import a couple more libraries here. We're going to import numpy as np. We're going to import sklearn. So from sklearn.datasets, import load digits. And then we're gonna need PCA for this. So I'll drop a link to what PCA is. It's principal component analysis. We covered this in a blog article already. I haven't made a video about it, but I totally can do that. I probably will do that. And then we already imported k-means, right? Yeah, so we don't care about that. So let's get these imports in here. So now data is going to be equal to load digits data, and then let's just take a look at what the shape looks like. So data.shape. Tuple object is not callable. Oh, whoops. It's just this. Okay, so it's 1797 data points, and it's 64 features. So we're going to have to, in order to actually plot this on 2 dimensions, we're going to have to turn it into something with 2 components. So PCA. So we'll just do PCA on this. So df equals PCA and components equals 2 dot fit transform, I believe. And then we'll print out what that is. And there we go. So that should be 1797 samples, but now we're only doing it on 2 dimensions, which is kind of what we want when we're doing k-means. So now let's make a new k-means. So there's 10 digits, right? It's a digits data set. So I don't know what I did there. K-means, and we'll do n clusters equals 10. And then we'll just do labels, and we'll set that equal to k-means.fit predict. So fits and predicts, and I think df, right? And yeah, that's pretty much all we need to do here. So let's print out our labels so we can see what they look like, right? So this should just be numbers 1 to 10, right? 4, 8, 0, okay, yeah. So these are numbers 1 to 10. Now we're gonna create our unique labels. So we're gonna extract out all the labels, right? So unique equals mp.unique, mp.unique, there we go, labels. And we'll make our centroids, and that's going to be k-means dot centroid cluster centers. There we go. And we're just going to plot these. So for I in unique, we're going to plot plt.scatter. It's going to be df labels equals I, and 0 for the x-axis, right? And then df labels equals I 1 for the y-axis, and label equals I. So this will plot all of our like clusters, and then we're also going to want to scatter plot our centroids. So let's just do that here. We'll do centroids. Slice comma 0 centroids comma 1. So earlier, I talked about this in the blog article, but I'm going to show you here. S is a size thing. Oh, it's actually not a string. It's meant to be a number. Sorry. So size is just like a size of the point. Normally points are size 72. Here I'm making 80, so it's a little bit bigger. And we're making it black. And this is pretty much it. Once we do this, we should see, oh yeah, we can plot a legend. So we can see our plot, right? Okay, so this is it. And this is basically just, 10 data points, 10 centroids, and here's a legend telling you what each data point belongs to. So yeah, that's all there is to k-means, and that's all you need to know to get started. I'm gonna put out another more like in-depth blog article and maybe like a video on this too, on what k-means does under the hood. And I'll drop the links to some of the prereqs that you might need to know to understand more about this and how to do that. So yeah, thanks for watching, and if you like my videos, please, give me a like, give me a subscription, and yeah, I'll see you guys next time.